R32 project has had some crazy progress over at Impress. Boys have gone above and beyond to deliver us the chassis on time. Due to our timelines being brought forward for shipping, we've really had to put the hammer down and really get this project across the line. Big thing for us from there on was to turn our focus on the wiring. Chose MoTeC for this car, so we've engaged Nathan from Connexion Concepts, flew him up to have a look at the car and go through a plan with him, can make this car great.
This is like our biggest car we built.
Street car or drag car?
Drag car.
Still street capability, so it's still gonna drive nice.
Drag car with lights and indicators.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Would this car ever go auto?
The other thing is the car's going to stay manual too. That's GT-R.
Yes. So he says no, but I'm like, yeah. He says no, but I know that he'll get bitten by it when he goes, I just want to go 6.
So I just rattle off sensors and you tell me yay or nay. Did you want head temp?
Yep.
Inlet air, you want it for pre and post intercooler?
Yeah, pre and post.
Driver wire or cable?
Driver wire.
CO2 pressure control?
What do you reckon if we run CO2?
I've never done it before.
Yeah, we've never actually used it.
How much
CO2.
boost are you trying to push?
70, 75?
CO2.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Can't get it through E-gates, or we just reckon it's unreliable?
Well, the fucking E-gates aren't working.
Let's run CO2. We'll make the decision. We'll run CO2.
So manifold pressure, boost pressure. We've got wastegate pressure already.
Do we want to do pre-cooler pressure? Then
Yeah, so if we ever lose have a hole in the cooler.
you can just know that your
pressure.
cooler's cracked. Pre-cooler, post-cooler, or boost pressure, whatever.
Pre-cooler, post-cooler in intake for maps.
Or post cooler is boost pressure.
Yeah.
Where do you read that boost pressure from? In the manifold?
Before the blade.
Before the blade, right, yeah.
So the correct way to do it is you have the blade, manifold, which is your map pressure, and
Yeah.
boost pressure in front of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And then pre and
So those two sensors have to be absolute sensors. You're going to do 4 shock sensors all around.
Yeah. We will. We won't have them there before they go overseas, but yes, please wire for it.
Alright, so this is what I got for the engine bay. I've got coolant temp, cylinder head temp, pre-intercooler temp, post-intercooler temp, oil pressure, driver wire 82 mm, boost servo, CO2 pressure increase decrease,
Yep.
wastegate pressure, exhaust manifold pressure, coolant pressure, crankcase pressure, 6 EGTs,
Yep.
manifold pressure, boost pressure, pre-cooler pressure, 2 shock sensors, 2 wheel speed sensors.
Why not 4 shock sensors?
because it's just the
This is
front.
the engine bay.
Let's head.
Oh, from the front. Use it smarter than I am.
Engine
So
bay.
this is what I've got in the engine
Use
bay.
it smarter than I am. Yeah,
It's like you
perfect.
don't listen.
Yeah.
12 injectors. Write that down.
So what are we doing for street car stuff?
We'll put a light in the middle. Interior light. Headlights, tail lights, doors.
Headlights, taillights, I just need connectors.
Yeah.
I'll make all the wiring for it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I think.
Because it's just grand and 12
Yeah,
volts.
yeah.
Exhaust flap.
Yep.
Are we wiring a stalk into this thing or?
Indicators. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the headlights will be off the stalk or?
Are they stalk or are they? Nah, off the. Are they on the dash?
Yeah, they're on the dash in a 32.
Running a wiper.
Yep. 2. Factory location.
Running rear.
Nah, just front. No rear.
He meant 2 and then 2 wiper arms. Because he's an idiot.
Motors get fucking.
Where are we at? In the back. Pump.
Might just pressure the back bottle.
Got that.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's
bottle
it?
one.
Drive shaft.
Drive
2
shaft.
shock speed.
2 shocks.
Shock sensors.
Wheel speeds. No, we use sorry, just drive shaft for that one. Yep. We just use the front. Yep.
Bottle pressure.
Bottle pressure. Blanket.
Heater. Pump. Solenoids.
Fuel. That's it. Sell the car. This is it.
Huh?
This needs to be done in a month. Reckon? Yeah, bro. Cool. I look sick.
Floor looks sick.
Hey?
Start of the floor looks sick.
Looks sick, eh?
Yeah.
They nailed it. It's fucking killer.
Well, you can do it wherever you want. Originally we...
Usually I was going to do it in the clutch hole, but you're using it.
Keeping it, yeah. Yeah, well, we were going to do... I thought we were keeping one of them, but obviously
That's
not.
right. We can cut down.
Yeah, so we were either going to do through the side and in, or wherever you wanted it.
The Firewall connector will come through here.
So do you do, what do you do? Do you run a...
It'll be an auto sport Dodge connector.
Yeah,
They just take the motor out with a harness on.
yeah.
Yeah. So everything from the engine will be out from there? And then what? Like the other piece that comes this way?
Well, my design has one of those on each side.
Yep.
For the front guards, and then one there.
Yeah.
So if you ever damage any section of it, you only have to replace
that part. Yeah. Yeah. So, but like on the inside, like, if we just mount it pretty much in the front, like anywhere in there, it'd be fine.
Usually on the passenger side.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like the GT-R to be a GT-R. This is just a strengthening part. These are all strengthening exercises.
Are you firewalling off the back?
Yeah, like a seat delete, yeah. So there'll be, I don't think we haven't got a panel, but it's just like it's a rear carbon seat delete that garage actually put in. So the whole thing's all carbon. Like it'll just be,
just so it's
yeah.
wires through.
I think we can go under the like seat delete. There'll be room underneath that. You know what I mean?
As long as there's room.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you'd think because the factory body harness would have to run somewhere.
Yeah, well, they're pretty much factory. Obviously, other factory cars, they pull this off, but like other than that, it's all
Factory harness comes to this side.
Hey,
Factory harness goes this side.
on the right hand side, yeah. So I think that's still we can still run it on the right hand side. You know what I mean? Which obviously it still retains the factory fuel tank mount and all that sort of stuff as well.
We've reached a major milestone in the project. To have this car sitting on its own four wheels is crazy. To see it in our shop for the first time, it just puts in context what we're building here. Impress Fab, Danny and Casey have come across just to help us finish off all the fab work. Fitting up anything that was attached to the chassis that needed to be finalised and finished off before we panel and paint the car.
Heaps of parts for Goku 2. This is like the OEM option, I guess you could say. All the OEM stuff, so all the stuff that we don't get aftermarket, like seals, rocker cover stuff. We've got a nice titanium bolt kit, which is nice. Just heaps of cool brake clips, like everything that pretty much needs to be done. It's all brand new like this. It's going to be a brand new 32 GT-R. That's cool. Brand new door handles. Like it's just going to feel nice when you open the door. Oh, jeez, that's... For those that know, no. I don't want to touch it. I have dirty hands. I guess it's stuff like you see on all these cars, but it's just, I guess when you get it brand new, you don't, there's not too many options. Like you don't, you don't get many options. Like you don't get many chances to build a brand new car. Like, especially being a GT-R 32, like one of the iconic cars. Oh. Center dash vents, like just, you know what I mean? Like just put all the dash, like just brand new. Just shit that's brand new, it's just side vents. Like this, you know, like even look at this, you can see it without opening it. Like the bonnet, the boot pull, fuel popper. Like these are sick. Being able to do brand new, like indicator stalks.
Oh, nice.
Just so when you sit in the car, like we're gonna do a really cool interior in this car. So the interior will be very, I guess, supercar-y, but like even that, like just brand new. How killer that is.
Never been touched until
Stu puts his fucking greasy mitts on it.
They're not great.
But you know what I mean? Like, killer, man. Like, I just love it. It's just unreal, you know? It's very fucking cool. This. Old logo, newsprint wheel nuts. Just very cool. Check out this 6-boost manifold. That thing's badass. The boys built us a stainless custom pro mod manifold. Very cool piece from 6-boost. Thanks, Kyle, for that. We've got a precision turbo. This is a 94mm, so it's going to make some stink, that's for sure.
Looking at the Albans, so this has got it's a full billet sequential, and we're just having a ST6LP, says Justin. we're just having a look at the shifter. So generally we've run Samsonas. So this is a little bit of a different setup for us because usually the Samsonas have done a lot of the hard work for you. So their shifter basically bolts in and then they've got all the shift rod lengths and everything's all pretty much sorted out for you. So we're just having a quick look. We've got a spare Samsona shifter and we were just sitting that up there to see if that would be a viable option, because basically the issue we're dealing with is obviously our shifter here is in the center, but where the shifter is on the Albans is off to the side here. Yep. So it's offset.
Yep.
So either way we're going to need some kind of linkage to basically offset our shifter. Two options we're thinking about currently is some form of adapter that basically brings this straight down and across to somewhere here, which will line it up with the linkage. Or the other one that we're tossing up is if we go and extend this linkage on the side up through the floor, and then we run the linkage inside the car with the other Alban sequential that we've got, shifter.
That's the reason why we chose this box over.
I think Alex just wanted it.
So why did Alex want an Albans?
Alex wanted a 6-speed and didn't want to keep breaking the gearbox he has in that car over and over again.
Alex just has to learn how to drive and he won't break
I made people shift the wrong way.
How many times has it broken due to operator error, and how many times has it broken due to shit gearbox?
1 and 1. The one in Sydney when it went, that was just Lord knows what it was about. That was just we put it on the trailer and it was vibrating and it was like,
We raced
why?
all night. We raced all
And
night.
this,
We raced all night.
we raced all night. We got to the end of
It was
and
the front
then
bearing.
and it was just yeah.
Front bearing was balloon.
And I think that had to do with the fact that it didn't have the right flat shift tune in it the first time, and it had copped a fucking beating because I've been leaning on it like crazy trying to get it to shift. And no flat shift? Yeah. And then the second time it went was because I bounced it off the limiter.
He does I think I heard it.
And then it's, you know, if it's on limiter that the flat shift doesn't work. I do now.
Thanks, Dewey.
Yeah. I really enjoy learning these things the wrong way.
Palette paint this time is not going to be a crazy mirror finish job. It's enough to just remove anything that was attached to the car, like sound deadening, underbody stuff. We're actually going to strip this car back to a bare metal shell. Just remove any of that junk and have it really finely prepped. So when I get palette paint, or just more so paint on this one, it will actually turn out to be all one colour, light as possible. All the anything else that should be on the car won't be on the car. But finalising that off and having that piece of the puzzle sort of taken care of really makes the car stand out.
Goku 2's new engine.
We'll measure all our journals, note them all down, measure all our crank mains, and then work out what our clearances are from there.